for joining us. I'm Rakometsi, a faculty member at the Maluti Adventist College. And with me, I have Dr. Rakometsi, the CEO of Maluti. Thank you so much for joining us. And
thank you very much, ma'am.
Yes, thank you so much. And I know one of your area of expertise is quality assurance in education.
Yes, indeed it is.
Mm-hmm.
It is, yeah.
Okay, so all our programs here in Maluti have been accredited to meet the Council of Higher Education and the Adventist accrediting standards. And since upholding quality assurance and quality education standards is your area of expertise, how would you advise the college moving forward to maintain this full accreditation and to continue pursuing excellence in education?
I'm happy that the college is asking itself this question, because it becomes a very important question if you want your programs to remain current all over the world. When your students go all over after graduating here, the people who are going to receive them either as students for higher degrees, higher diplomas, or the people who are going to employ them would want to know the accreditation status of the institution. Now you're asking me how do you uphold that and ensure that it doesn't get lost. What is important is adherence to the standards, and to say whatever you do, you're going to pursue excellence and not allowing any form of dropping of standards. Just ensure that everything you do is up to the quality that is prescribed and even beyond, and ensure that the members of faculty remain current with the latest developments in their field. They have to be highly qualified people. They have to continue improving their qualifications. They have to attend refresher courses so that the institution is not left behind. And also, because you are in the medical field, ensure that you've got the latest technology, the latest equipment, so that whatever you do, you strive for excellence. In that way, you go beyond the standards that have been set by the different accrediting bodies. But if you are just going to be focusing on what they need, and you say we're going to do only the bare minimum, that's when you're going to drop the ball. You must always strive to exceed the bare minimum standards that have been prescribed.
Wow, thank you so much for that. So what I take from what you said is that evidence-based practice. Since we are a healthcare professional and most of our procedures mainly have to align with the current evidence. So we should pursue evidence-based practice in everything that we do.
You can imagine if a student graduates from your institution and he passes having used old equipment, and he gets to a hospital anywhere in the world because you operate in a global village, and he gets exposed to the new technology, doesn't know what to do. Will that institution still respect where that student comes from, as in the institution that has produced him? That is why it is very important to keep abreast with the developments and make sure that the students know the latest development. I always cite this example. It's an easy one. Our fathers used to drive cars with carburetors. Carburetors, I said, you may not know what I'm talking about. Now, lately we're driving fuel injectors, cars with fuel injectors. Now, if the institutions that train mechanics are still training students in the engines that used carburetors, look, they have become irrelevant. They have become outdated. Keep abreast with the development and ensure that the products that come from this institution are receiving tuition in the latest development. Then you're going beyond the accreditation standards. When they come here to accredit you, they find that you're miles ahead of them. You tell them that this is the technology of this year. It is not the technology of yesteryear. In that way, you'll receive your accreditation easily and your students will excel wherever they go.
Wow. Okay, thank you so much, Dr. Rakometsi. So what would you, because what I'm hearing from what you're saying is that in pursuing all this, we need to pursue, or rather utilize, monitoring and evaluation to keep a check on what we are doing, to make sure that we are still aligned to our vision. We said we want to be a global Seventh-day Adventist, and if we say we want to be global, it means that some of our equipment that we are using whilst we are training the students, they have to be at the global standard. So which monitoring and evaluation frameworks, just as a follow-up, can you advise as maybe to always align to, or maybe just put it in our pockets and use as a check whenever we think, okay, are we still on track, and then are we still aligned to our vision? Which maybe a framework that you can advise us on to say?
The framework that I believe in, and I'm going to answer your question at two levels. Okay. The framework that I believe in is the benchmarking framework.
Okay.
Maluti Adventist College is not operating in an island. There are other similar institutions that you can benchmark with. When you benchmark, there will be instances where you find that you are ahead of others. You come back, you say, guys, in this area, we are ahead of the rest of our peers. There will be areas of weakness, and where you identify areas of weakness, don't sweep them under the carpet.
Okay.
Come back to the institution, having gone out on a benchmarking mission, and say, we are ahead in these areas, well done. But in the following areas, we need to improve, and improve urgently. Otherwise, the world is leaving us behind. At the second level, I want to say to you, I fly a lot in my job, all over the world and in the country, and I'm fascinated by flying, because as we speak, all over the world, there are many flights in the air. But when an aeroplane is crashed, the whole world knows. And 6 months, a year passes without a single one of them crashing. You can imagine, from Dubai to Washington DC, from London, Heathrow to Johannesburg, all over, they are flying now, even in the countries, different countries. But you seldom hear of a plane crash. What is the secret? Before an aeroplane flies, they make sure that everything mechanically is tops. They've got a checklist that they check religiously. The aviation authorities in the different countries will stop planes from landing at the airports that are not safe for landing, where the fence maybe that is, stopping the cattle from moving around, whatever obstruction that, if that is not up to standard, they will not allow the flights to fly in there. What do they do also? They check the health of the pilots regularly, to check that this pilot is not going to have a heart attack while in the air, because they carry very expensive cargo, which are human beings, heads of families, parents, teachers, professors all over, ministers and everybody. Very important cargo, so they don't take chances. What am I saying? I'm saying, if you want to maintain your accreditation, don't cut corners. Do it the right way and beyond. In that way, you'll be sure to keep your accreditation.
Wow. I am moved. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
So we should utilize benchmarking. We should not cut corners. Whenever we find that there are strengths, we should celebrate them. But our weaknesses, we should make sure that we deal with them and agently for them to be effective.
Yeah.
All I'm hearing is quality assurance. Thank you so much, Dr.
Can I make the last point?
Yes.
Where you have succeeded, and this I learned in philosophy of history, where you have succeeded, you must celebrate. But don't celebrate forever. Okay. Because in philosophy of history, I learned something of a nation that was walloping everybody in the military field. They were walloping all the countries. They came back home year after year, day after day, week after week. They were celebrating that victory. In the meanwhile, their enemies were refining their strategies. They were improving themselves while they were celebrating. After 10 years, when they went to the battlefield, they were found wanting. So the achievements, the strengths that you are celebrating, don't celebrate them for too long. Because if you celebrate for too long, you may be found wanting in the very area that you were strong in last year or yesterday for that matter. Thank you very much.
Wow, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.